BSing with the guys. It is time. We are live. It's a special day, MLK Day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what you two racists were doing all day long, but I was spreading the word of Dr. Martin Luther the King all day long, buddy.
Me
You
too.
know it.
So he's loved by many, except for some reason the left has kind of shied away from what he preaches. And I don't even think they realize it, but it had me thinking when I saw, the MLK Day was coming, and I started thinking about the stuff that he preaches, all the stuff. I probably don't have to go over all of it, but just, he visioned this colorblind society.
Right.
I mean, that was in his big I Have a Dream speech. He yearned for basically a world where, he said his children not to be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. This was, back then, a radical call for equality that was, just rejecting the racism that was going on. But today, it seems like many on the left embrace these policies and these ideologies that prioritize race as a defining lens, basically. We can go to like the affirmative action in higher education. You go to these colleges. It's intended, I guess, to make up for the historical wrongs that went on in the country, but they got the programs at places like Harvard and UNC and just a list of these colleges that explicitly use race, racial quotas and preferences effectively against discriminating against Asian American applicants. I mean, we remember those stories that broke a while back where there were just too many Asians, so they had to stop. And sure. I just don't see how that aligns with somebody they supposedly follow, which would be Mr. MLK.
Only when it's in their best interest,
True. And then it brings back to what I talked about in the beginning when I was stumbling through it. But the DEI shit, the training sessions often segregate employees by race. And, and they actually label whiteness as inherently, problematic. It's just, approaches that, that echo the segregation that Dr. King was fighting against. It's just repackaged in what they call progress now. And it's just weird to watch it unfold.
Yeah. I don't know where that kind of wrong turn got taken, but you definitely see it. And I don't know if they don't see it or if they act blind or just act stupid, but
I think it's just a bunch of trying to make up for, the bad parts of the country's history, but then it's always taken too far. It's just an overcorrection of things that happened in the past that weren't great, just slavery basically, and just the racism that did exist in the country decades ago. And so they have to feel like, well, we've got to fix this instead of just looking at it and saying, hey, the world's a better place now. The country's better. I mean, you don't have the same laws and the segregation like you used to have, but that's not good enough. No. Now we basically got to punish somebody for this, and
absolutely
right. And it shows. And if you can look at the way that Martin Luther King advocated for free speech and open dialogue, even with his adversaries, I mean, he marched alongside people that disagree with him, basically believing that, from what he's saying, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. So now you got modern day left-leaning movements have increasingly turned to censorship and cancellation as tools of enforcement. I mean, you see that on the college campuses also. They got a conservative speaker. A lot of times they're shouted down or they're disinvited.
Or worse.
Right. Often, or shot. Yeah. Often under, the excuse of safety from harmful ideas is what these colleges say. And I mean, the list goes on of just how they go against anything this man preached, but yet they still praise him and act like, they give a shit that it's his day is upon us, and I mean, we saw it with social media platforms a while back. I mean, it got terrible on there. I mean, and it was influenced by these damn progressive activists who deplatformed voices, deemed problematic is what they like to say.
It was so
And
bad.
It was, especially when it came to the COVID-19 stuff. I mean, we all went through that. And then it jumped into gender ideology. If you said anything about that, a man is a man, a woman is a woman, boom, you were canceled off of these places.
Or if you were, winging for Trump.
Election
number one,
Exactly. And it's total opposite, like I said, of what he was preaching, and then you get into the economics of things, I mean, Dr. King's economic justice was rooted in uplifting poor of all races, not just certain race of poor people. He didn't preach that. He spoke of the just basically we got to bring everybody together with this. Black, white, Latino, Native American. He was working with all of them against poverty as a shared enemy. It wasn't just for one group of people. And that's kind of what you see going on in California right now when they're talking about doing this reparations. And it's potentially the way they're doing it, it's excluding poor white people and immigrant families while benefiting affluent black individuals, because there's some black individuals that are way better off than some of the other races, but the other races don't qualify for this. And now this is a place that slavery was never legal in. So, I mean, that kind of racial gatekeeping, it really diverges from Dr. King's poor people campaign that he called it, which, like I said, united all colors. He's trying to unite all colors. Just, we got to get everybody out of this poverty.
Oh, man.
What are they doing? Going hardcore in the...
Vinny's back.
Vinny.
What are reparations gonna do? I guess I just never seen how it's gonna change. Like, I guess I understand where the symbolism of it's supposed to be, but it's like, what is it gonna change?
Well, the problem is they'll never see a dime. But for two, I'm with you. It's not going to change. It's not going to change the past, and it's not
going to make white people stop getting blamed.
Right, exactly.
Today,
it doesn't just stop there. It's not like, okay, we can move on now. I mean, it's like you gave the Native Americans casinos, and they've moved on. You don't hear much from them anymore. They're like, we'll take it. Cool, we're gone. But yeah, that never ends, because it's not like you're going to blame that on the everyday average black citizen. That's not the problem. It's these politicians that make a living off of pushing that shit. That's why reparations, that's not going to end anything. They're still going to be out there race baiting and firing these people up to believe that the system and everybody's still against you, so we're going to help you. That's all you're ever going to get out of these politicians,
Yeah.
I think the reparations should come from them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they feel that bad. Make it a voluntary thing. I don't know.
Take it out of your pockets, politicians.
Yeah, put a box on your tax return, man.
Do like they do
reparations.
When they try to do the Humane Society, they have a celebrity up there doing this commercial with soft music playing in the background, and look, try to convince people to give to it. But
that'll be the next thing at McDonald's.
Would you like to round up for reparations?
There you go, dude. That's a good one.
Everybody's white guilt's coming out. Oh, yeah. Who the fuck's going to say no?
So you can afford McDonald's, but you can't afford to help.
Yeah.
To round up.
Round up for reparations. We're going to start that.
I like it. Hashtag round up for reparations.
Yeah, we're gonna guilt McDonald's into doing it. We're just going to try to blast social media with it.
R-U-R, dude. Yeah, exactly, dude.
That's awesome. That's a damn good idea, Justin. So anyway,
just like the white guilt in this country that thought that we'll elect Obama and that's going to end all the racial bullshit in this country, and it probably has done nothing but divide us even more. So
no, it's a good point. That's a good point, and it's a good segue too, because I also I had an Obama subject I wanted to get on, but as far as the MLK Day, look, it struck me as funny, being, I guess, funny meaning odd, that the left who try to preach a lot of shit that he stood for, go totally against it. And it's just, I guess, just really highlights the hypocritical, state that we're in right now. So, I thought that was fitting for today, being that it is MLK Day. But you're getting to Obama and all this stuff going on with ICE. All the nonsense going on around the country with these riots or rallies or whatever the fuck, protests, whatever they want to call them. Mm-hmm. And it got me thinking, like, well, how much more did Obama deport as far as when it came to these illegal aliens? How many more than Trump? Because it's never spoke about now. You never hear the media talk about it.
No,
but
I've heard it's a lot.
It is, because if you look into it, it's basically about, I want to say, over Obama's 8 years, it's about 3 million is the mark they put it at.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And if you look at Trump's right now, it's about 1 million.
Okay.
Big difference.
A little bit, yeah.
That's a big difference. I mean, it's,
so the argument that I hear for it, and you can respond, but is it's not the number, it's the way that they the difference in how they're doing it, how they're going about it, right?
Gotcha.
Is what I hear.
Well, and it could be. I mean, what are the differences they're talking about?
Well, that basically Obama did it, I guess,
nicely,
and Trump is sending in basically sending ICE into the cities where they're unwelcomed and da-da-da.
And I get it, but I think it's because he had no choice, because so many people were let into the country from the last administration that this was the only way you were going to get a handle on it.
Right. And then
first was to shut the border down, which he did.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was, okay, well, let's go round up the criminal ones, and I know that's a weird statement that some people say, well, they're all criminal, because they are. I mean, they broke the law when they came here. But when I say that, I just mean the whether it be violent felons or some of them were picking up, child freaking rapists and shit that they're out there protesting against, shit like that. So, and that's kind of what their mission is right now, is to get the bad apples out of here.
Right. And as far as, like I said, the argument that I hear that Trump's kind of evilly going into these cities and where they're not welcomed. And it's like, I feel like that's a big part, that none of these liberal states are just giving up their illegal immigrants to the Trump administration, so he can't just ask for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it got so bad with Obama's term. I mean, they gave him the nickname, the deporter in chief. I mean, that's how, in a lot of, I forget about it too, but a lot of people forget about that because it's not harped on. But the left were giving him hell back then. A lot of the critics on the left were blasting him for doing that. But nowadays, you don't hear about it no more, because that's their savior. That was their Jesus, was Barack Obama, greatest president ever. So they're not going to say anything negative about him now to compare it to what Trump's doing. But as of right now, Trump's not even close to the numbers that this man sent out the country. So I want to applaud Obama for that. I didn't know it was that big of a discrepancy.
Didn't Obama actually give Tom Homan some type of medal or an award for his hard work?
Yeah.
So
he did. Yeah. He did. The same guy, like I said, the same one they're blasting now.
That they hate, they want to get rid of. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's just crazy to watch how these cycles that the politics go through, and once something isn't doesn't fit whatever kind of narrative you're trying to push anymore, it just kind of gets swept under the rug and nobody talks about it. And that's
so. Are you saying on this show that it's okay for a black president to deport illegal aliens?
Well, today, I'm going to say it's okay for a black person to do whatever they want. It's MLK Day.
Today.
Just today. And then we're getting back to normal in this country after today. So, no.
Right.
But, yeah, no, I think it was great what Obama was doing.
Absolutely.
I just think it's not talked about.
It is not talked about, right. I agree.
And then it comes back to what Justin said. I guess they would have that argument. Like, it's never going to be a civil discussion, because they're going to say, well, but Obama did it more, humanely. And it's like, well, it's only turning inhumane now because these people are out in the fucking street fighting every inch ICE is trying to make. So the shit's turning dangerous and deadly.
Exactly.
It's not like it's humanely against the people that they're picking up. That's not the ones they're having these confrontations with. It's these woke liberals that are out there trying to stop the process. You didn't see all that when Obama was president. At least I don't remember seeing no nationwide protest and riots and shit over this. You had a few people on the left that weren't happy about it, but it wasn't to this extent where they were out in the streets trying to stop it, or it would have turned ugly too back then.
Right. No, I agree with you 100% on that one.
So I don't know. That's another one, man. Like I said, it just highlights the hypocrisy and really just politics in general, not really on the left, because it goes both ways, just how people forget, I mean, you could pull up old videos of a lot of politicians that have said the total opposite of what they're saying now on both sides. But all that just seems to go away because the news cycle, it turns over so fast nowadays in this country. Dude, you forget 3 days ago. Yeah. Now you start talking 10, 15 years ago. Nobody fucking remembers that shit, Yeah,
I was going to say a week, but you're right. Probably 2 to 3 days. The average American is just move on to the next thing,
You had no choice because as soon as you start to get into anything, something else breaks.
Right.
It's kind of like even just, with us doing this show. If something's breaking, some kind of breaking news, and you want to get your opinion out there on it, you better do it right when it breaks, because after 2 or 3 days, nobody gives a fuck. They moved on to something else, and nobody tunes in to even hear about this shit you're talking about because they done heard it a million fucking times. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's kind of like with the Don Lemon shit we were going to talk about tonight. It just came out yesterday. But people are probably already like, motherfucker, like I heard this shit a million times. That's how fast this shit goes. Everybody's got instant access to this news. And then as soon as something new breaks around the world, boom, there it is. Change the subject,
Absolutely. So what do you say to the commenters that say that basically ICE is just, well, there's been a few of them, but ICE is just out violating human rights.
Let's get to the comments. ICE is out violating human rights?
Yes.
What human right is that? To be in a country unlawfully?
Well, they're saying that ICE is basically pulling Americans, I guess by accident or grabbing the wrong guy, dragging them out of their house, and detaining and arresting American citizens.
And if there's any truth to that, if I don't even know if they can find me a real case besides what they hear or read on Reddit. But if find me a real case where they held somebody and didn't release them once they've worked it all out, and they just sent them back, and said, I don't give a fuck, you're going to Mexico and we'll deal with it later. I'm not saying they don't detain people that that don't belong arrested or whatever, that you know what I mean, but it happens in everyday life to everyday citizens. You get detained, they do an investigation, like, okay, we've got the wrong guy, go on about your business. I'm not saying that never happens, but you'll see some of them that word it like they're out there arresting people, putting them in these detention centers, and even sending them off, like sending them, boom, you're gone. And it's like, find me a link to a real article where that's happened, and then I'll be like, okay, well, I mean, maybe so, but I don't buy it. I don't buy it because I've heard the stories too, but I haven't seen an ounce of proof of it. So
yeah, I haven't seen anything come across.
I'm not saying ICE is perfect. I'm not here to take up for ICE. I don't owe them anything, but I'm just saying shit happens sometimes. But they're not making it any fucking easier by out there fighting with them and fucking having them shoot people. I mean. The only ones getting hurt are U.S. citizens, it seems.
Paid protesters, yeah, exactly.
Some of them are.
Yeah, probably a lot of them.
They acting up.
Who is? The comments?
The protesters.
Oh, the comments are acting up too.
Oh, the comments are acting up too? Yeah,
let's get into these comments.
Let's talk about Stacy.
If they really wanted to deport people, they would go to Florida, Texas. Dumb fuck, not Minneapolis. Well, I don't think they're
for a lady.
See, they're not just in Minneapolis. That's just getting the bulk of the news right now, because that, for one, that's where everybody's acting up at.
Right.
ICE is everywhere. I've seen them down here in the South. Fuck, Justin, you've seen them. You sent me a video of them.
Absolutely.
I mean, we had a story here where, like I said, a couple of weeks ago, where illegal immigrant ran a red light and smashed into an ICE agent. So, I mean, they're everywhere, but there's only certain pockets of the country that are causing the kind of trouble like they're causing in Minneapolis. So that's getting all the news right now. If that shit was going on in every city around the country, the news cameras would be everywhere and you'd be hearing about it. But it's not. The only exciting news is this fucked up shit going on right now in the streets of Minneapolis. So let that shit kick off in New York or anywhere else. That's where all the fucking news is going to be. So next, what else we got? Next, that's a lie.
Stacey again.
What's Stacey talking about?
Stacey says you people are fucking delusional and don't follow the law, and you don't know the Constitution, or you don't give a fuck makes you anti-American.
What do you mean by you people?
Yeah,
what does that mean?
Who is you people?
Yeah.
First of all, I don't do shit. I follow the law. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't work for ICE. I'm not the government. So if your beef is with them, that's fine. But what law are they not following? If you come into this country illegal, the government has all the right in the world to send your ass back home. Now, I always say a different debate is whether or not you agree those people should be sent back home. That's a different debate, but it's not a legal debate. You can't win that in a court of law, because by law, you broke the law when you came into this country illegal. So therefore, like I said, they have all the right in the world to escort your ass back out of it. Now, you want to have an argument about whether it's right or wrong morally, that's fine. Moral arguments are different than lawful arguments. So, I don't see ICE running around breaking the law. They're doing what they're told to do when what they're lawfully able to do. But like I said, I'm not an ICE advocate. It's whatever. The immigrants aren't bothering me. I'm over here in a peaceful fucking town, but I don't. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask Walter who them is. Walter says, who the fuck is paying them? And I don't know who them is. If it's ICE or the protesters.
Yeah. Who pays all of them? George Soros, right?
Probably.
Isn't that our go-to? Isn't that our go-to, George Soros? I wish he'd pay me. I'd go out there and fucking protest.
I'll hold a sign. Shit.
Yeah.
Stacey's still with it. She wants to basically they're dragging people out without any reason. They shot a kid in the eye.
Can we get Stacey on the show?
Blinding him. He's 21.
Let's get Stacey on the show. Go get a camera. Let's put her on. Okay. Stacey, honey. It might be a dude. There are dudes named Stacey, right? I'll still call you honey. Don't worry. Dragging people without any reason. They shot a kid in the eye. Did you see what the kid was doing? Did you see the ruckus they were out there causing? They were told multiple times to stop. He was basically charging in at this chaos that was going on right at that second with these agents that were trying to get people to get the fuck and disperse and calm down. I saw the video like everybody else did. The kid didn't have a weapon. He wasn't there to kill him, but he was in the mix of all of that bullshit that was going on. And he wound up suffering the consequence for it. That's all there is to it. They didn't just sit there and say, hey, let's go find some innocent 21-year-old I can shoot in the fucking eye with a pepper ball.
ICE is just doing pepper ball drive-bys.
That's what they're doing. Like, who can we shoot today? Right. Come on, man. You think they want that shit? They ain't trying. They're not out there for that nonsense. They're trying to do their job and go home. So anyway, Stacey's going to be part of the show. Protesting it is an American right. Or who wants to take this? I'm tired of
Yeah, so it is, but you don't have a right to block traffic. You don't have a right to ruin everybody else's daily life. You can protest, like we've talked about it time and time again. We see protests down here around where we live, but they're peaceful. Nobody's out fighting. There's nobody arguing. They're yelling and shouting and holding their signs, but they're doing what protesting is meant to do. It's meant to get your message out there. This is what I believe. They weren't blocked. Okay.
What video?
Well,
what? How are we watching this?
Nobody's been blocking traffic. They didn't set up a fucking barricade in the middle of the goddamn road that's probably still out there till today. That didn't happen.
This is why. Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Cool Cat 3032. We appreciate that. Telling all the patriots to hit that subscribe button for us. But even if you're an anti-patriot, even if you fucking hate us, hey, at least hate subscribe. But now, to the comment on the screen, they were not blocking traffic. What have you been watching that I don't understand how millions of people can look at the same footage and come up with a million different fucking visions on this? It's so weird. And we're the delusional ones. That's all they're
Yeah,
doing
man.
is out there impeding people's fucking progress. That's the whole point of their protest. And when it becomes a problem, because just like the comment before that you have a right to protest, you do, but you don't have a right to interfere with law enforcement when they're doing their job. That's not a protest. Because like I said, they're not out there doing anything illegal. As of right now, ICE is following the laws of the land, which is they're out there rounding up people that are not supposed to be in the country. Like I said, if you want to argue that from a moral standpoint, that's a different show. But they're out there doing what they can do lawfully. And when you start impeding that, you're breaking the fucking law.
Right.
And when you're blocking traffic of everyday fucking people that are just trying to go on about their lives, that actually have jobs to go to, they don't have time to sit out there and throw fucking hissy fits all day long about some shit that they don't really care about, because these people don't give two fucks about this. All it's doing is giving their useless lives some fucking purpose for a little while. That's it. That's all it's doing for the majority of the people out there causing fucking chaos. So if you're driving trying to get to fucking work, I've seen one guy trying to go pick up his fucking kid and they're blocking this fucking path. Well, good. When they get run over, that's why we all celebrate, you know, because of shit like that.
Yeah, it's like you can
fuck out the road.
Peacefully protest all you want, but trying to piss your neighbor off to start an altercation is not peaceful by any means.
They are law enforcement, Stacy. I see Stacy's comment. They're enforcing the law. You call it what you want. That is law enforcement by definition. So
yes, it is.
Stacy, I love you, but damn, you got to come on. I know you're trying to get me, but you can't. So
true.
But you know, and it reminds me of peaceful protesting, okay? Was it a peaceful protest when these assholes barged into that fucking church with Don Lemon yesterday?
Didn't look like it.
Is that justified in the left's mind to go disrupt these people that weren't bothering a single fucking soul doing their Sunday service? And then this dickhead, this anti-God dickhead decides to walk in there and start protesting over some ICE bullshit in the church. And, you know, like, was that peaceful protesting?
Over an allegedly false rumor that the pastor was involved with ICE or some shit.
I don't give a fuck if he was.
But
I don't care if there was a choir in there and it was full of ICE agents. I don't give a fuck. You weren't welcome in there.
100%.
Bring your bullshit somewhere else. And I hope the DOJ looks into this shit, because there is a law against disrupting church services like that. It was made for the Klan back in the day. They had to make a law for that shit. You know, and he basically violated that fucking law. Him and the rest of these clowns that ran in there, disrupting these people that weren't bothering anybody.
Yeah, the FACE Act you're talking about.
It's the fucking it's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. I don't know how anybody can condone that act. I mean, you're protesting, whatever. People say you have a right to protest. You don't have a right to go in somebody's, you know, private service like that. It's no different than walking in their fucking house.
Right.
I mean,
churches are open for the public. So is Walmart, but
so
you can't fucking walk through Walmart yelling at every customer, and you're going to get kicked out, asked to leave. And if you don't, now you're committing a crime.
Right.
And it's true. They do open the doors to the public. So that means you have to be a fucking asshole. I mean, you know, and they
That's what I'm saying. Provoking your neighbor isn't peaceful.
Right. This moral superiority they have over everybody, and they want to act like they had a right to go in there and act like total fucking assholes to people that have nothing to do with what the fuck your cause is against or whatever, you know, that there's no excuse for that. I don't care if the doors were unlocked that said welcome. We didn't say bring your bullshit in here and disrupt everything. So there's no excuse for that shit, man. That wasn't, you know, it wasn't just a peaceful demonstration. It was a hostile takeover of a fucking Sunday mass. Like, you know, there's no, like I said, there's no fucking excuse, man. There's no excuse. And the problem is you see people excusing that type of activity. And that's why where we're at right now in this country, with everybody being at each other's fucking throats, because they have people who think it's a good idea to go do what them people did Sunday. You know what I mean? You have people that really believe that was a good fucking idea. And that's pretty shitty, man.
Well, what happened with that dude that got fucked up out there? He got jumped by the mob.
That was What was his name? I forget his name, but yeah, they looked like they were trying to rip him limb from limb, man. Like I said, I forget his fucking name.
I don't know his name either, but I know what you're talking about.
You remember the video? They were pulling him off the ledge or whatever, and yeah, I don't know. He was on X like a little while after it happened, like couldn't wait to let everybody know. So he was enjoying it, but it just shows you
head split open and shit.
Yeah, and like I said, it just shows you the lack of tolerance that side has for anybody that doesn't align with their views. You know, there's no there's no discourse, you know, as far as there's no conversation.
No.
Let's just talk about this. It's all about trying to rule by force, which is supposedly what they're against.
Exactly. What up, Tim? We see you, dog. But it's like,
Matt, what's up, Matt?
We have the right to peacefully protest until somebody's peacefully protesting against what you're protesting.
Right.
Then, now he's got to go. We're going to fuck him up out here.
And you do. Yeah, they have a right to peacefully protest.
That's the way to do it.
They have a right. Look, they may feel like they have a right to do everything they're doing. But, you know, when one of them gets shot in the fucking eye with a pepper ball, then they all want to start crying. Like it was just, you know, unlawful use of force.
I'd probably cry too.
That shit looked like it hurt, but
yeah, absolutely.
But everybody wants to blame it on the wrong side of that equation. Right, how about the idiot that's out there has no business being out there? You know, that little 21-year-old twink that was out there running around like he's some fucking, you know, superhero gonna save the fucking immigrants or whatever the fuck he was out there doing. And he had no business being out there in that nonsense.
Right.
And when we talked about that last time, so I ain't gonna sit here and go into it and just beat a dead horse. But look, man, there's a time and a place. And when you're fighting for something like that you're not, it's not gonna help. I mean, that girl getting shot in the face didn't help a fucking thing.
No.
But hey, let them keep at it. I mean, whatever. Fuck it. Let them keep doing it.
Tim, bro, you missed the whole church rant, dude. He said, "What you guys think about the church incident?"
The church incident? Well, you know, they have a right. Well, what is some of the comments? They have a right to protest, you know. And
they do. They have a right to protest, and the church is open to the public. Is how the comments feel about it.
And it is. It is. But like I said, that doesn't mean you have to be a total dick. I mean, and just they knew what they were doing. I mean, it's like we're going to find the place that's the easiest to infiltrate and the easiest to go upset people in. I mean, there's kids in there. I'm watching a video of Don Lemon, you know, being interviewed or whatever, and behind him there's children walking out, and he starts commenting on it saying, this is what protests are all about, you know. It's about causing disruption or whatever the fuck he was saying. So the whole time he's just condoning this shit. Doesn't matter if there's small children around that were seeing that shit, maybe scared to death. You know, they don't give a fuck. And we're supposed to sit here and have some kind of sympathy for these fucking people. Yeah. And it's like, why? They don't have an ounce of it. I'm not religious enough with that turn the cheek bullshit. Fuck them. I mean, if they, you know, we can act exactly how they act. Yeah, fuck them. And that's why they don't come around here with that dumb shit, because it's not going to be looked at as a, you know, well, you know, they're just protesting, doing no, fuck you. You start disrupting people's way of lives and start hurting people's property, and it's a different fucking story when you're in a place that isn't afraid to handle their fucking own. And they only pull that nonsense in places where they know there's going to be no fucking repercussions.
It's true.
So like I said,
how do y'all feel about, I saw the picture of it, the left-wing protester, he was out there with his AR-15 and whatnot, and I see a lot of people on the right surprisingly pissed off about that he was out there protesting with an AR-15 on his chest.
I mean, if he was in a area where that's legal, then I don't see a problem with it. I mean, besides the fact that it draws unneeded attention to you that may be harmful, you know, if that's the game you're trying to play, there may be repercussions to that game when you're running around with a AR-15, which I understand that it's lawful to walk around with them where we're at right now. I don't choose to do it. I just don't want that kind of attention, and I don't need that kind of attention. So to me, it serves no purpose but to rile people up. I mean, who are you out there? Like, who are you protecting with that AR-15 at those kind of protests? You're gonna have a shootout with ICE? That's what I mean. So what are you doing? You're gonna have a shootout with ICE over the immigrants? I highly doubt it. And you're gonna go to war with one AR-15 against these guys. So to me, it was just all for what he got, which was show and attention. And if that's what you want to do, if that's within your legal rights, that's fine. But like I said, sometimes those come with consequences. Just like people who say it's their legal right to protest. Well, it is. It is. But when one loses a fucking eye, don't start crying. I mean, shit happens when it gets out of hand, you know?
No, and it was just like I said, I saw a lot of right-wing influencers that were just posting about it and were like genuinely upset that he was out there with an AR-15. And I'm like, look, the more people in the country we can have that displays their right to carry a firearm, I'm happy with it. As long as you're not pointing it at people, you're not threatening people with it. Hey, display it.
I'm with you. I saw the same picture, and people were kind of throwing a shit fit on some people on the right, but most of what I saw, people were cool with it because for one, nobody wants to be the hypocrite and say, yeah, he shouldn't be having that rifle. And it's like, well, you didn't say that when Rittenhouse, like this comment here, which
MAGA think he's destroying us, like we're sitting here fucking downing the dude out there.
Yeah, I don't know who he thinks forgot about.
Literally applauded him for having a fucking AR-15 out there, MAGA destroyer.
And you saw what happened to him. He had a right to be out there, and he almost lost his life twice. Meaning he almost died because if they'd got a hold of him, they would have killed him. And then when he was in court, he damn near went to prison over murder.
For a long time.
All because he wanted to carry an AR-15, which was his right, but there are consequences sometimes behind that. And he damn near faced them. I mean, he had to take a life. I mean, he had to kill somebody with it. So people think he just sits around and laughs about that, but you don't know how that bothers that boy. I mean,
I'm sure.
That's what he was young. I mean, he knows what he did. He knows he killed people, whether he was justified or not. I mean, it doesn't mean he's sitting there celebrating it every night. So, like I said, there's consequences to exercising your rights sometime. And to me, walking around with a fucking AR-15, it could lead to more trouble than what it's worth sometimes. But hey, do what you want to do. I mean,
you choose your risks. To me, it's. I mean, I think it's worth it.
Yeah. Who is not justified? Who are we talking about? Not justified. We talking about Kyle Rittenhouse.
Stop it.
We ain't gonna get into that.
Stop it.
Old news.
Yeah, the Rittenhouse, man. It's amazing people still go back and forth about that shit.
Yeah, and I don't even love him. Like, I've never watched any of his content since all that ended, but it was a huge Second Amendment case.
Yeah, there ain't nothing to watch.
So as far as him grifting and whatnot, I don't know. I don't watch his content, but the case, stop it. Stop.
Well, he does. I mean, he if you tune into any of it, like I see him on X. I mean, he plays into the Second Amendment. He gets on there, he starts talking shit about the liberals and all, but I think he's making a living off of this. You know, he turned what happened to him. He was a public figure. I say public figure. I mean, he was a household name.
Sure.
And it's like, well, I've got a lot of people in the nation that are on my side. I guess I'll have to capitalize on this shit. I mean, I doubt it's his, the best time of his life was when he was going through all that. I mean, you think that was fun sitting in court, not knowing what the fuck's about to happen to you?
Absolutely not.
Even that night that all that shit went down, I mean, he probably thought about it a million times, what he could have done different. Probably he may have thought I should have never been there. I mean, ain't no telling what was going on to that boys.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but anyway, that's a whole nother fucking that's like one of them topics that'll never end. People will never agree upon it, and to this day, people still think he gunned down black people for no reason out there, and it could be the furthest from the truth, but they don't give a fuck. Not everybody wants the truth, They just want to hear what they want to hear. So, the Constitution applies to everyone in the land. Okay?
Exactly.
It does.
I think because we're going on about Second Amendment.
No, it does. It really does. Which is why, like I said, when you see that black guy sitting on the back of that car holding an AR-15, I don't have a problem with that, as long as, like you said, he's not.
There was another one.
Who? No, I'm saying that's what that photo you're talking about.
No, it was a white guy standing with an AR-15.
Oh, okay. Well, there was a black. Yeah, it was a black guy. The picture I saw then.
Well, good.
Damn, so that's another one. That's the one I was talking about. People were wanting to freak out about. They were looking at it in a certain way because it was a black person, a young black person, what it looked like. You know? And, of course, their first knee-jerk reaction is, look at this thug sitting out there. But, I mean, he was out in the open. He wasn't hiding anything. He was just sitting there with the AR on his lap. Right. And that's the one I was meaning, like, what are you going to do with that, though? Like, what is your plan? Who are you fighting with that? To me, you're bringing this unneeded attention that could turn deadly on you.
Yes.
So it's not the decision I would have made, but he was well within his rights to do it.
Right.
That's why I said earlier, I can walk around with 17 guns strapped to me in Louisiana. I
Sure
mean, they
can.
may look at me like, what the fuck are you doing? But legally they can't do me shit,
No.
you know, but I'm not going to do that. It's unnecessary, you know?
Well, that comment that says the Constitution applies to everyone on this land, I would think that only applies to law-abiding citizens, right? Or citizens in general.
Citizens.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, but there's the argument too that once you're on this land, you know, that's what a lot of the liberals start arguing, the politicians and all, is that they get the same rights as an American citizen since they're here. And that's the big discrepancy or the big argument. Do they really, or should they? That's the question. Should they be, you know, awarded the same rights as a natural born citizen? And I don't know. I mean, certain rights, I guess, but when it comes to, you know, just be a free for all with the due process on sending them back and everything. No, if they're not here legally, then I think the government's within their rights to immediately send them back and then say, okay, well, I'll do it the right way. But that's an argument that, you know, people want to have day in and day out. But so I don't know. Like I said, the whole Constitution thing, when it comes to not being a legal citizen, that's an argument I see a lot of people having on who has those rights and who doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think we have the same rights as other citizens when we go into their country. You know, as
not
their
at all.
citizens.
Not
I don't
at
think
all.
we're,
no.
Yeah.
But I think there's some important rights wrapped up in the Constitution. You know what I mean? Like there's some that are more important than others as far as you and your everyday life. But I don't think, like, I guess because you had mentioned like some, but I don't know that you can, like, how do you pick and choose? You know, I feel like it's almost got to be all or none.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, you can't just have a few rights that you're going to give to someone when they're here illegally. If you're going to give them any, you got to give them all.
Right.
Yeah,
True.
no, I'm with you.
I
I'm with
guess.
you. And that's why that's why it's a big argument between the left and the right when it comes to that, because that is how some of the liberals look at it. Well, I mean, they're human. They have rights. You know, they're here now. They're not inanimate objects. They're human beings. And once they come here, then they should have the same rights as a U.S. born citizen.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if they should have any or all, but once the decision's made, whether they should have or shouldn't have, then, like I said, I don't think we can pick and choose which ones, but.
No, I'm with you. Do you remember, let me see if y'all remember this case, my little extra special co-host here and the audience. Let me see if y'all remember this case. Let me pull up the screenshot of it. I saw this the other day, and it reminded me, we had talked about it a while back when it first started. You remember that case, Justin, just looking at the picture? All right, that old man, did you see they found his ass guilty?
Yes.
Yeah, they found him guilty of murdering that lady. I think she was, an Uber driver or something. They both got tricked by this scammers, you know, saying that I think they had a family member of his that they wanted money. It was like a ransom type thing. And he thought she was there to collect.
Right.
So his fucking answer to that is to shoot the woman when she's getting in her car to leave.
Yeah.
I mean,
because it was, they were both getting scammed, right? Like,
they called both of them. They told her to go collect the money or a package from this house. And they told him somebody was coming to collect the money, so you better have it ready. So he thought it was her. And that was his defense, was that he was scared for his life because they threatened to kill him and his family if he didn't pay them. So when this lady showed up to collect this package, he's thinking, well, this is them. I'm scared to death now.
Right.
Well, of course, where he fucked up is she's trying to leave.
Yeah.
You know, she's trying to get into the car and leave. And then he decides to start pumping rounds into this lady, you know, and it's kind of like old people with driver's license. Should we take their guns away too? Once they hit a certain age.
That's a whole nother debate, dude. Jesus God, dude.
I say that till I'm 83, but it's like, dude, if that is your rationale, you know, and I get it if you think that person is there scamming you, but once they're getting in the car to leave, you cannot fucking shoot them because you want them to wait for the cops. So this dude, I don't know what they're going to sentence him to, but they found him guilty in a matter of no time. I mean, it didn't take the jury long to decide that. But
you think they're going to go light since he's so old?
Probably so, because they're probably going to take into account that I believe he was scared. I believe he believed that this person was here to collect what this idiot on the phone was convincing him, you know, as far as if you don't give it to me, we're going to kill you and your family. So I believe this old man, he got scammed. I believe in his feeble mind. He really thought that these people meant harm to him. So how can you not? How can you blame him with that? It's just the whole point of shooting somebody when they're trying to leave. Even if she would have said, yeah, I'm the person here to collect, and then said, okay, well, never mind, I'm getting in my car and leaving, you can't fucking shoot him.
So crazy.
It is, dude. So, but yeah, as far as him being 83, I mean, what can they do? I mean, I guess.
Yeah, how much more time you have on your side, you know?
Yeah, so I don't know if they're going to take that into account when they actually do the sentencing, or I don't know if they should. I mean, he broke the law, and
he broke the law.
I mean, he's punished like anybody else, I guess, that would do that. I mean, fortunately, he's lucky if he's got 10 more years left of his life, and I can't imagine him saying, "Well, we'll just give you home arrest."
No,
you know? I mean, it's like, hey, bro, you did something stupid. I mean, I know you're 83, but now you got to pay the consequences.
That's a lot of life experience to not do that.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, it's weird how, you know, I'm with you. Like, you've been on this earth long enough, and it's not like he was accused of having dementia. It's not like he was, you know, that was never an argument that he was out of his mind. It was their only argument was that he was in fear for his life, which is fine if the woman just kicked your fucking door down.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but man, that poor lady, I don't want to pull up the video, but you can hear her like begging him to stop, like stop. You know, she's getting in the car. He's fighting with her. She's fucking crying and begging him. And he fucking starts pulling the trigger on this lady. And I'm thinking, so in your brain, your 83-year-old brain, that was the best case, the scenario that you thought I needed to go to. Well, it's weird, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Cause I mean, apparently, most places aside from Portland, like the standard is that you are in immediate fear of your life or great bodily harm. Immediate, you know, like you're actively being attacked, or there's a weapon being, you know, a knife held to your throat, or a gun pointed at you, or somebody's actively breaking in your house and has just broken in or something. But for an unarmed lady that is peacefully, I assume she was calmly knocking and wasn't like kicking the door, you know, calmly knocking and, hey, I'm here to pick up a package. Like, everything that I saw in the video, there was no immediate fear for his life. Now, maybe he felt that somebody would come looking for him, but that's what we have law enforcement for.
Right.
Yeah. Say, hey,
somebody
people are threatening to kill me.
This one here, need more context on this story. I'll break it down real quick. So if anybody's heard this story before, just bear with us. But an Uber driver has died from this was back when it first went on. This is the article. Uber driver died from multiple gunshot wounds in a shooting that originated from a scam call. The Clark County Communications Center received a 911 call around 11 a.m. on March 25th, in which the caller, William Brock, he was 81 at the time, reported he shot a subject on his property who was attempting a robbery. The deputies, of course, arrived. The lady had passed away or whatever, but investigation showed Brock had been a subject to a scam call concerning an incarcerated relative, which turned into threats and demands for money. Well, Hall was an Uber driver. That's the lady that lost her life. She was an Uber driver who was unfamiliar with the circumstances of the scams and the threats, and arrived at Brock's residence to pick up a package as part of her job. When she showed up, Hall, the older man, the older gentleman, he was unarmed and made no threats or demands. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's her. I'm sorry. I'm confusing y'all. The lady was unarmed, made no threats or demands other than requesting the package from the guy. So when she arrived, Brock produced a gun and held her at gunpoint, demanding to know the identity of the scammers who had spoke with him on the phone. So like I said, he thought she was part of this. So he started telling her, I want to know who they are. I want to know who they are. Well, she had no knowledge other than the delivery request made through an Uber application. So apparently these scammers got on Uber and requested somebody to go pick up a package, which they thought was going to be money. Where they were going to get her to take this, I don't know. But the Brock took possession of the lady's phone and refused to allow her to leave. So, you know, police noted that during this encounter, Brock did not make any attempt to call 911 for assistance. She reportedly attempted to get in her vehicle and leave the property, at which point she was shot by Brock. Brock was also injured in a reported scuffle at the door of the vehicle. So that's about it. Basically, the lady says, "Hey, I'm getting the fuck out of here," and he said, "No, you're not."
Yeah. What charges did they hit him with? Does it say?
They got him.
Might have missed that.
No, they got him with the man accused of murdering was found guilty of 4 charges, included murder, felony murder, and kidnapping.
That's what. Okay.
So they got, I mean, he's
because I was like, if I was a prosecutor, it'd have been kidnapping, attempted kidnapping, felony murder.
They got him with the kidnapping for sure. So So anyway, I think that's the right call. I mean, it'd be tough, if you're a jury member, you're seeing this old gentleman sitting there, which in his mind, he really believed what he was being told on the phone. But as a jury, you got to look at it like, I mean, that was not the most logical way to handle that situation, which is shooting this lady.
Yeah, because, I mean, people with schizophrenia believe what's in their mind all the time. You know what I mean? But they can't just go, shoot up Walmart because they think that, Russia is going to come to their house from that Walmart and they have to go take it over first. It's.
So what's the comment we got on the screen?
What happened to the person that set this all up?
Nothing.
Which I don't think we know, but nothing's going to come from it on their end.
No, I was reading the latest article on it. It says that they weren't ever able to pinpoint who or where that call came from, because you know how that shit is, dude. Look, I had a relative that fell for it. They got about $6,000 out of him because they told him that her grandson was in prison. Well, they had somebody on the phone that sort of sounded like her grandson, but it was kind of muffled, like, because they're overseas in a prison somewhere. Well, she didn't think to hang up the phone and call somebody and say, "Hey, is so and so overseas right now?" Like, what? She just got freaked out because he's on the phone begging, like, "Grandma, I need $5,000. They tell me I can get out. Blah blah blah. I'll explain it all later." Well, of course, she goes and gives the thousands of dollars to these people via whatever they do. Some of it's fucking gift cards, and so they get them. They target these old people. And it happens. And apparently that's what happened to this guy. They just took it so far as to say, "Hey, we're going to fucking kill you if you don't do it," which is odd because it's like, "Hey, we got your relative in jail. We're going to let him post bond. If you don't pay it, we're going to kill you." It's like, is that how this shit works?
Damn, laws have changed.
He didn't question that. Like, damn, it's changed since I was young. But look, I'm not looking at it from an 83-year-old's or 81-year-old's mind, but damn.
Right.
That is a danger to society when when you're that old and you decide, "I'm just going to shoot a motherfucker trying to leave my house," So, anyway.
Damn.
They never catch them people was my point, because it happened to, like I said, I know somebody had a relative do it. I know another one. They called them up. They did the whole, let me look at your bank account. We're going to give you some money back for your Apple bill or something. And then you give them, somehow they talk you into giving access to your bank account where they're able to manipulate the code on the screen that shows that they overpaid you by, say, $8,000. Like, "Oh shit, we put too much in your account. Can you go get some gift cards or some Bitcoin and whatever and give us that money back just to make it even?" And then they go and do it. And the whole time, whatever they had on the screen was fake. They manipulate the code to show it to you while they're in your computer. So I know 2 people just in our local area that were hit with that. One of them had to go give Bitcoin to the people, which they did. $15,000 they put into a Bitcoin machine. Got this lady out of $15,000. The other one, it wasn't that much. It was, I don't know what it was, maybe, $1,500 or $2,000 that they had to have in these gift cards. That was how they wanted her to do it. She had to go buy multiple $500 gift cards to send the codes to these people, and that's how they got her. All older people. I mean, that's the ones that they ain't hip on this shit. They better, they better get hip.
Better wake up.
Because somebody fuck with this case with this guy. I mean, he's going to prison, and some lady died over one of these scams. Because these old people just don't get it. I mean, for one, I ain't never met an old person that refuses to answer every fucking phone call. Like, you don't have to answer every fucking phone call.
I know.
That's like them old people can't fucking stop themselves. Oh, my phone's ringing. My phone's ringing.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck that phone. Especially when it's coming up with some unknown number. Like, that's such a weird thing to me. But them old people, boy, I guess it's like back in the day when your house phone rang, you had no clue who it was. So you just, you pick it up. But they can't stop themselves nowadays when their cell phone rings, boy. They don't give a shit.
That
man.
and clicking on emails and shit. Like,
Oh yeah,
every
what's
link,
that?
dude.
Oh, yeah.
Nigerian prince. What?
I think
know.
Trump should go get their president. That's what he needs
Look.
to do. He needs to go kidnap Pakistan's president.
Old Pete's agreeing with me. It is, dude. I watch it all the time. I'm like, these old people, they could be in the middle of talking to the president, and if their fucking phone rings, hold on. Oh, and then they're looking at it like, who's that? Who? I don't know who this is. Well, hold on, hello. And I'm like, well, don't answer it. Like, it's not that big a deal. Like, if it's that important, they'll text you or they'll leave a message or something, but they can't fucking help it.
So different, dude. Because I don't answer it when it's people I know. I'm like,
Oh, we know that. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah. I'm like, if you don't send me a text, we ain't talking. So, sorry.
Pick up the phone. Yeah, exactly.
My mom calls. Text me, mom. Fuck. I ain't got time for this.
yeah.
No, but seriously, that's like I said, that's part of what got that old guy caught up in that scam is they refuse to just let a phone ring. It's like it's hard. What you got, Justin? Ty Hill, 44.
Wait until we're old and technology is beyond our understanding with AI.
No, I get it, and you're right. That's why I'm kind of laughing about it, but yeah, that's true. Ain't no telling what it's going to be like when we're fucking 70 and you're getting actual face video calls or whatever from people that it's not even real people. I mean, it's
going to be 88
scary.
and be like, Mr. Beast just sent this video to me. He said my name.
That's what I'm saying. There's going to be scams that right now we can't even fathom. Like our brains aren't even thinking about it, but somebody's going to develop ways to do it with this AI that when we get older, we're not going to be hip on all the new fucking technologies and shit. And you're right. I see it. That's why I cut them some slack, but I'm thinking, for one, just not answering every single fucking phone call would stop a lot of this, because the two people I know, or the three with this case that we were just talking about, it all stemmed from them answering unknown calls on their fucking cell phone.
Yep.
Stop.
So
Stop
all you
doing
young
it.
people, go filter your grandparents' phones.
Yeah, take it
Put
from
filters.
Fuck.
Just anything unknown numbers don't pop up. Don't even
need
ring
cell
the phone.
phones. Take it
They
from
don't.
them, just like you would a child. Like, give me that phone. You don't need that shit.
Get them
off
on
the
AOL.
internet, damn it. Yeah, the internet's dangerous. The internet's dangerous. Cell phones are dangerous. But I
do
AI
like
is gonna
this
be
comment,
dangerous
though.
with us. Which one? We need
My
Newsom
favorite
or
comment.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Newsom 2028. Because I always say, if it's nothing like, a content factory is what Newsom would be. And I would love it. We could be on here daily talking about the shit show that the country is if Newsom's president.
It would be Newsom with AOC under him. AOC vice president, dude. That'd be
that is a hell of a
dynamic
ticket.
Duo. I tell you what.
I would almost, for reasons like this, I would almost want that.
Yeah.
I almost want it just so we can come on here every day shitting on them too. It would be amazing. That would be amazing. But
you might see it, dude. You really might see that.
I think you're going to see the Newsom. I don't know about that AOC shit, but I do believe Newsom is
personally,
coming.
I don't think he has a shot. He's done fucked up California so bad. I think that's going to be his downer, even though he projects nothing but goodness that's come out of California.
Sure.
I do believe that the people that are running against him are going to say, dude, you have fucked up California. I tell you, the one to watch, if I can put it out there, would be Shapiro out of Pennsylvania. He'll be the one that you got to watch to run for president.
You think?
Absolutely.
Because see, when you say his name, it just doesn't even, you know what I mean? It doesn't even resonate.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't even know who that is.
That's my point. Like, everybody knows who Gavin Newsom is. He's a household name. We're looking at it from a following politics and trying to think our way through things where most people aren't. They're not. I mean, that's why a lot of these people get elected, that we're looking at it like, who the fuck voted for this person? So that's why I don't have as much faith in the American public as you do. I believe Newsom's going to be the front runner only because he's a household name already, whether it good or bad. People know who he is. And once that machine decides to get behind Newsom, there's no stopping him. Now, I'm not saying he's going to win presidency, but I think he will be the front runner, mainly because
he'll win it.
He may, depending on who we put up and how dirty we're able to play.
If we don't start getting some picks in and getting somebody in the media and just in front of people, he'll win.
And when look, the conservatives got to start learning how to run with this sexual assault allegations, because that's what the left does with everybody who's making some kind of headway. Any steam they're picking up, all of a sudden they dig up some lady from 37 years ago that got groped by this person. Right, better start learning how to play dirty, man.
And Gavin Newsom fucked the whole state, so I'm sure there's a few, you know,
somebody
like somebody, shit.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but you watch once the media jumps behind him and just the Democratic Party as a whole, because of how they play this game to win. That's the only reason I can almost see Gavin Newsom being a front runner. Now, Brad, to your point, I agree. I mean, I think if people really remember and look at how bad things are in California, maybe that'll sway enough people away from voting for this clown that he has a chance. I just don't have enough faith in the American people because of the short attention spans that people have. All they got to do is start gaslighting people enough on all the good that Gavin Newsom has done, and that's all they're going to remember, because they're going to make that hard push for a year to 2 years before the presidential run, and that's all you're going to fucking see. That's it. And you wait till the 6 months before you watch it ramp up.
And I agree with you on that end because of name recognition. But when you look at what people have done for the state, we can go to Shapiro. And he just put out, I think he wrote a book in Pennsylvania. He wrote a book basically saying the reason he didn't accept or want the nomination for vice president with Kamala Harris is because some of the questions that they asked him, are you a double agent for Mossad? And he drew offense to that. So that's why he never got on that ticket. And I'm wondering if that's why Harris was like, God, I mean, I guess we got to go with Tampon Tim, a couple states over. Yeah. But I think he's a force to be reckoned with. I really do.
Well, what bothers me, I'm sorry. What bothers me is the way Justin reacted when you said that. Now, here's someone of voting age, that had no fucking clue who this guy was.
Who he is,
I think that's going to be a lot of people. If you were to run a poll and ask people to be honest, they would say, I've never heard of this fucking, I don't know who that is.
Exactly.
But ask him Gavin Newsom. I mean, there's 18-year-olds who know who Gavin Newsom is, and that's the ones they're going to go after for one.
Yeah, he's the hipster dude. He's
right, and like I said, I see him on there with his little podcast and all, and trying to lay, he's laid back in his little chair, trying to just look like a normal fucking person and not the piece of shit that he is. Right. And it's going to fool a lot of people. It's going to. Now, this guy Shapiro is Soros' lapdog. Probably is, and that's scary. Like you said, if he has a shot, because the way you're talking, Brad, you researched it enough to think that he may be. I mean, but I can't think of anybody on the left that it would be like, well, that won't be too bad if they win. I can't. There's nobody. They're all so fucking far gone right now. Like the big names, at least on the left. I mean, who can you even think of there would be like, well, I could deal with that, I guess. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, Kamala Harris, she can make the push all she wants, bro. She's not going to be even.
Nobody. Yeah, she's done.
She might get on the debate stage, but they're going to soon kick her off. I mean, she spent $1.5 billion and she still couldn't get elected.
That's why I think
Shapiro will be one of them. On the whole Democrat side, dude, I think the Latino AOC she's a huge voice, and she promotes this socialism and collectivism. So I think she could be one that could be there. But Gavin Newsom, he's the pretty boy, and I mean, if they're running on identity politics, God, Newsom will probably be right there. He'll be right there.
Which is what they do. I mean, you know how it is. I mean, they all that matters to the human psyche, the visual of it. They want to put somebody up there, that they deem is just an attractive person to have on TV. People are going to be zoned into it. He speaks well. Right. I mean, besides his policies, it's a win. So what they need to do, of course, what they will do is make every conversation steer away from the California policies that he's implemented that have destroyed the state. They're not going to let that be talked about, and he's going to be the typical politician that's going to do the whataboutisms. And I heard it the other day when Ben Shapiro was bringing some shit up about California. The first thing Gavin Newsom did was want to talk about the other 16 states that are doing typically the same thing. And it's like, that's not what we want to talk about. That doesn't excuse the fact that you did it just because other people did, but that's their response. Well, what about this state that's doing it? Okay, well, what about it? Let's get into how bad that is. whatever the topic was. It wasn't one that he wanted to talk about, but he had the typical politician answer, which is to not answer it. He's good at it. He's polished. So I believe right now he's the most well-versed on how to be a politician when it comes to people that may be in the running. I mean, this guy's good. I mean, he duped the state of California into thinking that he's fucking, I guess they love him over there. I don't know, man, because
God, I really wonder about that, because I heard there was something coming up with the ballots that they're proposing on certain amendments and certain laws and stuff, to where they're heckling all these votes, and they're redirecting some of these votes. When you vote for them, it's not showing up, and there's no telling how much corruption is involved with the voting process in California. So
it ain't zero. I mean, percent.
Right.
There's something going on.
Yeah, exactly right. So and
Justin, who you voting for? Gavin or the Shapiro guy? Because I know you're going Democrat. I know you're the hardcore liberal.
I mean, honestly, if the New York mayor doesn't run, probably nobody.
Mom Dommy. That's who we need.
Yeah. But
that's who we need.
Aside from that, I'm just going to save it.
But then, but on a serious note, you turn and you start looking at the candidates that may be a possibility on the right. And, I mean, who's a standout right now? I mean, everybody likes to jump straight to J.D. Vance, but I just don't know if that's the one that's going to stick it to these fucking dirty ass Dems when they start doing the same bullshit they do every time these elections are around. They play dirty, man. Got to give it to them. They don't play to just, stay in the game. They play to win. There is no holds barred when them people are fighting for political positions, man. And they come together as a group. There ain't much infighting. Once they pick their person that they're going to get behind, that's it. It's done. Yeah. Everybody's lockstep. Boom. They all get the memo. They all get the playbook, and they go by it. You don't see that a lot on the right. There's a bunch of this fighting with each other. I mean, you saw it with Trump. Trump had a nickname for every motherfucker on the stage, even after the fact. Even after he smoked them, so then you start dividing your crowd when you start doing that. And so I don't know, man. I don't really see a standout since Trump can't run again.
All. I guarantee you, there's a large portion of right-leaning voters that forget J.D. Vance is even in the government right now. You just don't hear him. Don't see him pop up.
That doesn't matter in the whole political thing, man, because look, J.D. Vance is another one like Obama that came from nothing, because I don't remember J.D. Vance. He came up, he was a senator, and all of a sudden now, goddamn, you're a vice president. And God, I
see what you're saying, man. Brad. It's kind of like once they decide to get behind you, you'll know who he is.
Absolutely. And then I think when the backing, when you got the backing of the Peter Thiels and the Bill Ackmans and those names out there, which are basically your Jews, man, the money people, they're going to promote who they want to promote. People? Absolutely right, dude. I don't really, J.D. Vance, he's okay, but he's not a proven politician. And look, Trump in the same sense was never a politician, but Trump was just Trump's just off the cuff, man. I mean,
it's a different animal, man.
What you like about, you'll never see another Trump, dude.
Right, and I don't think people, even the ones that hate him, appreciate what they're seeing. You're not going to see another Trump in our lifetime. Just somebody that's so polarizing that every day there's something you can discuss about this guy. I mean, it never fucking ends. Love him or hate him. Right. He is Donald fucking Trump, he is one of the few that can take on that machine and
not
win.
Give a fuck.
Yeah, and don't care. That's why. But because he doesn't care. You have to go into it with that mentality. None of that shit slowed him down. None of them allegations they threw at him, as far as the essay, the sexual stuff that they were throwing at him. Nothing. It's bounced off of him. It's like, whatever. Fuck it. I don't care. I don't care. I don't need this shit. I'm a billionaire anyway. So fuck it. What do I have to lose? And look, it doesn't mean you have to enjoy him or like him or love him as a person, but to not respect the fight and the zero give a fucks in that guy. I mean, good God, that's the only way I see you beating this machine and meaning the government and winning any type of, presidential race. Because it's like a lot of people say, these presidents are pretty much fucking appointed. They don't let you in if they don't want you in. And that's what shocked him so much when Trump won that first term. You saw it. You saw it on Hillary's face. You know, she wanted to go in the back when they dropped them balloons and were celebrating ahead of time and he won. You know, she went into the back and was like, what the fuck did y'all let happen? Where did this come from? And you know it, because that was not in the book. He was not supposed to win, and it shocked every single one of them. And I think they've made it a point to never let it happen again, ever. If they don't want you in, you're not getting in. So
and it's
I don't
true,
think
man.
you'll see another Trump.
No, and it's true, man. When you look in this country, it's just all this was with the Trump election this time was nothing but a stall from what the real agenda, when you look at the deep agenda of the country and you look at the deep agenda of the one world control and the government, it was just Trump is a hiccup in this, man. And does he get some shit straight? Yeah, probably so. But ultimately, I believe, this is my opinion here, I do believe that we are heading for some form of socialism, because we are too free in this country. Even though people think our rights are being trampled every day, which they are, we are too free as a country in this world. So they want nothing more than control us, man. And
well,
I do believe that's coming. I don't know who it's going to be. JD Vance, God, he might get elected based on what Trump has suggested, but I wouldn't even look that far out, Shane or Justin. I wouldn't even look that far out. I would see what happens in the midterm is going to depict what happens in 28, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and you made you brought up a good point that just, got my brain kind of spinning, which almost has me, scared of what's going to happen after 2028, because you said Trump, you said it perfect. Trump is just a hiccup in the game that they were playing. They're going to be right back to it when he's gone, and that's what I'm afraid of. Things are going to go right back to normal. It's going to be business as usual. You got Chuck Schumer on video the other day saying that they're going to implement that a lot of them cuts that Doge made, they're going to bring that money back. They're going to bring those programs back. He sat there and said it. They're not even hiding it. That once they're out of here, now they're hiding it behind, they got rid of some good causes, but you know what they mean. We're going to bring back those funnels that we were sending that money through as soon as they're out of here. So you're right. He's a hiccup in the grand scheme of things. Yes. And when he's gone, it's right back to a fucking free-for-all by these politicians, man. That is what that's another thing I don't think people appreciate enough, is how he's put a lot of that bullshit on pause, because they can't get away with a lot of the shit they were able to get away with when these other administrations were in on it. And I'm not saying this is a perfect administration. It's got its problems too, especially with the Department of Justice. I just mean Trump himself. They couldn't control him. He wasn't trying to benefit financially. And everybody else in politics, it seems to be their goal when they get into it. They want to be wealthy. They want to be powerful. Trump had all that already.
Yes.
I mean, he had it. He had the fame. He had the riches. So I just think they have to deal with him just for another, 2 years or so, and it'll be right back. No matter who wins, it's going to be right back to how it was.
Exactly right. You hit the nail right on the head, because if you look at the American people, the 330 million people that vote in this country, and it's not even that much. It might be 150 million people that decide to get off their ass and go vote. But when you look at it, overwhelmingly, and I still believe as of today, you can take Trump, and I hear that he's just too bombastic and he's just too narcissist, and take it for whatever you want. It is what it is. But when you look at it in a realm of things, the majority of the voting American people want some type of conservatism, and they want to value and protect the rights that we have in this country. And God, that just throws the biggest pitchfork into the sprocket of what the global elites. And if you can think past of just our country and being controlled, when you can get past that of what they want, true world dominance, dude, we don't have a shot. I'll be honest with you. We are just one generation away from total control, or socialism, or whatever you want to call it. You can see what's going on in New York, and
you see what's
going on around the world, man. It's just it's a matter of time for us. I don't know if we'll see it in our lifetime, but the ones I worry are the younger generation, my grandkids, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, you're right. I mean, it doesn't take long either for things to change for the worse. You know, I mean,
One
it don't take
generation,
but a
bro.
generation. Yeah. They
Yes.
convince enough of these young people that, you know, to put people like Mamdani in, and then it's over with. It's over with. So as soon as that virus starts spreading, because these young people, these college, you know, quote unquote college educated kids that are, you know, coming out into the real world think that this sounds great. It's a utopia.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, and that's why they prey upon those young people so much. They're not going to get people like you and I to go along with that. They're just waiting on us to die off, you know, and then then they've got it. I mean, they know what they're doing, man. They're in it for the long
and I
haul.
heard an interesting stat today, dude, which we'll just take New York as an instance, dude. They were talking about, you know, government child care. I mean, which I think is totally absurd, but they're projecting $6 billion, dude, to pay for government child care. So what's their answer? This Mondami's administration, what's the? Well, we're just going to tax the rich, dude. The rich are not that fucking stupid, bro. They're going to pack their shit and they're getting the fuck out of New York. You know what I'm saying? So
of course,
it's easy to spend other people's money, bro. And when
until
it dries up, it's like,
yeah,
hello, where's it at?
Yeah,
you know, how do we do this? You know?
Yeah, and you know, they say people are moving to New York faster than they're leaving. I heard somebody saying, you know, showing some kind of stat that they were trying to convince people of that the other day. And if that's the case, I mean, I don't see no hope. If you can't, you know, stop people from flooding into a place that's being run by an idiot like that. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. And then look, nobody's giving the guy a chance yet, but just from what he was running on, like, well, that shit doesn't sound realistic. Like you said, it's all about free shit by taxing people.
Hope he fails,
it's going to fail if he really implements what he's talking about. It has no other option but to fail. That's what socialism does every time it's tried. There's no way to do it the right way. Like they all like that. Well, we're going to do it the right way. Well, there is no right way to take people's money and give it to other people, because the people you're taking the money from are going to fucking leave. Exactly. It's that simple. Yeah, I mean, or they're going to be so fucking broke they can't contribute to this pool that you're trying 100%. To fucking fill up with money, you know?
Yes.
What you got, Justin? You pulled that up?
Yep. Does anyone feel as citizens we're being played? Are we really taking up sides left, right, as the elite take everything?
Every day.
100%.
100%. I think they put us at each other's throats all day, every day. Meanwhile, they're back there. We always say it. They're back there breaking bread with each other behind closed doors. I totally believe that. But I mean, if you want to follow it at all with politics and you want to try to get involved at all, then at some point you just have to, you know, I guess throw a little bit of faith into it and go to the voting booth. But it's probably all fucking pointless. And like I said, I think that's what threw them off so much about Donald Trump, is that he wasn't part of this little game that they're playing, so they didn't know how to handle it for a while. Well, then they found out how, which was like throw so much shit at him that he can't hardly get anything done. They annihilated him on his first fucking first 4 years in office. It was nonstop impeachments and Russia and, you know, you name it. They were throwing at this man, and it was all a calculated plan to just stop him from being able to change what was going on behind the scenes. And I think they thought, okay, if we can just get through this 4 years, we'll get him out of here. Didn't work. What'd they try to do? They tried to take him out.
Yes.
They did not want him in here for a second term because they saw the bullshit they had to deal with the first time. To me, that should tell everybody how to vote. When they start trying to kill somebody and when both sides are pretty much against somebody, that should tell you something. That should open your eyes when the whole government can't stand a guy that's running for president.
Not when you pretty much the apple cart, bro. Yeah, not when you stop all the NGOs and USAID. You stop the money flow. Absolutely, dude. And you can go even further into it, man. It's a deep subject. And Trump is just a hiccup. Like I said earlier, he's just a hiccup in the whole ball of wax that's going on. I don't trust any of the politicians, and I'm not here to beat up on the left, which I think are the largest of the abusers, but I'll beat up on the right too. A lot of these rhinos and stuff like that. There's very few in Congress that really, truly give a shit, dude, to be honest with you. And they're not going to stop it. You're not stopping this machine, man. And when we sit back and we talk about that, it's already set. It's already set in stone. It's going to be the way it's going to be. Yeah, it's a sad situation. Our country is just 38 trillion in debt. Trump's going to try to straighten all that, but dude, it's just I think we're just at the point of no return, and we're so young, bro. It's a 250-year-old country. We're so young, dude. It's just
I know. I seen
it's
look. I
amazing.
seen somebody ask Grok earlier. I was on X, and somebody said, "Hey, Grok, what is the next what was it? Like the next empire that's going to fall?" You know, because in history, all empires fall. I didn't even click on it to see the answer. I was like, I know what Grok's going to say.
It, dude. I don't want
the United States of America, statistically, it will be. So I was like, I'm going to stay the fuck away from that.
Well, look, if I can put any insight in it, every currency in the world has fallen. Every currency has been devalued to zero except the American dollar. We're losing reserve currency status every day, dude. We're losing a little bit of it. If it's petrodollars or if it's just our world reserve currency, we're losing it every day. It is just a matter of time. So the dollar is worthless, but it's garbage, man.
Right.
So look at silver and gold prices. Jesus Christ, dude. Look, you know what I'm saying? Look what's going on, you know?
So you could basically see the trend then, and as far as leading to where it's led before in other empires or whatever.
Absolutely.
You can see what's going on. I mean,
absolutely.
You know, it's not, I don't know, man. I'm just hoping, hopefully we can get through this lifetime. But then, like you said, if you got kids or you got grandkids, I mean, it's not just about you. You want them to have a prosperous life and as comfortable as possible. So you hate to think that when you're gone, they'll be struggling with shit like, whatever's going on in Venezuela or any of these other shithole places. I mean, it's scary to think that it's a real possibility because, like you said, we're a young country. I mean, everybody who's living right now doesn't look at it like that because it just seems like, oh, fuck, we've been here forever. And it's like, it's real. It's nothing. This country is nothing. And now it's already full of a bunch of crooks running it. How long can that go on for? I mean,
Europe, dude, they're done, dude. Europe is done. They're about to fall by the wayside of Islam and the takeover that they have going on over there. And it's a sad situation, dude, all the way around. True. And I don't want it to be here because I think we can live and put politics aside. It's not about politics, people out there. It's not about politics. It's about good versus evil. And the evil is upon us, and we must deal with it some kind of way. Throw the politicians out the way. Take the good versus the evil, and we got to deal with it. I don't know what that means in the future or what we have to do, but I'm willing to take up arms and fight for our sovereignty. It's not so much politicians because I could give two shits about them because they don't care about us.
Part of the prop. See, I was just about to say, and then it popped up in the comments. The problem is you can't get people to agree on what's good and what's evil. So you know what I mean? You can't.
It's hard, right?
No, people are just not. We're never going to be on the same page because this person's in the comments talking about Trump equals evil. Well, exactly. I mean, I don't believe that. I mean, I'm not saying Trump is the second coming of Christ, but I don't know about evil, any more evil than the rest of these fucks that are running around and playing this political game. But that is part of the problem. You'll never get enough of us to come together and agree that one side is bad. Whichever side's running this country into the fucking ground, the other, there's going to be a portion of society that believes they're doing the best thing ever for the country. So,
and you see people like that are throwing comments, Trump equals evil. I get what you're saying, but when you look at the political side of it, you got the other side or the left side throwing, well, we're going to give you this, we're going to give you that, we're going to give you this financial we're going to give you this financial payment, free health care, free childcare, free money, free this. Everything sounds great in the realm of things, man, but that's just not the way society is supposed to run.
Right. So when you have a side saying, no, we're not going to give that to you, well, of course, they're painted as the evil side.
Evil.
You want people to starve to death? It's like, no, we want people to get out there and do for them fucking selves. And contribute to this like everybody else. We don't want people sitting around handouts living off of taxpayers' money. That's what one side says. That's not evil, but that's how it's painted because the Democrats see they want y'all to starve to death. They don't care.
Exactly. Right. See, you left or your Democrats, the socialist collectivism, this womb to the tomb, I was brought up in a different era, man. I just believe in rugged individualism. There's nobody here to protect me. There's nobody here to give me what I need. I have to go do it on my own. Well, I made a good point of doing it in my life. I don't trust anybody, and it's all about self-reliance.
I think it stems a lot too on how we were brought up in our age group.
Sure,
I mean,
absolutely.
we got home, our parents weren't there. We took care of ourselves. They were working.
Yeah,
we were out until the
exactly
street lights came on. We came home, we fed ourselves. We threw shit in the microwave after school. We ate it. We pretty much, it had no fault of our parents, but we were self-sufficient at young ages. Well, you know what I mean? So I think that's just how we came up. So it makes it a little easier to be like, man, fuck these people. I don't want to live off the government. I don't need you. I can take care of myself. And that's the last thing they want. They don't want that self-sufficiency. It doesn't do them any good for nobody to be relying on them. It's the same thing as these causes that go around trying to fight racism and fight homelessness. It does them no good to not, for people to not be homeless like we've talked about before. The cause will be gone. The money stops. It all ends. Well, that's how it is with these politicians. I mean, they don't want you not relying on them. Then because they've got you by the ball, so to say, now that they're feeding your ass,
And I would love to take a poll if we had the time and the ability to take a poll. You would probably be amazed by the poll that you would take in this country that should government pay for health care? Should government pay for child care? Should government pay for homelessness and all that shit? And it's like, how much tax are you willing to pay to support all that bullshit? And it comes all the way back full circle to self-reliance, man. I'm not willing to pay any of that bullshit.
Well,
I pay for my own health care. I don't need child care, and I'm not interested in paying for all the unburdened bullshits of this country, dude. Fuck them. I'm not doing it. I'm just not interested in it.
The only way I agree upon it is if they're going to keep stealing as much tax dollars as they're stealing from us, then at least put it to some good. Give us all great health care. Or stop stealing so much of our fucking money that you don't need.
Exactly.
Because it's all going to fraudulent shit that means you don't fucking need it. So give it back and we'll take care of ourselves. Or if you're going to keep fucking taking it, then give everybody free shit. Whatever, because they could. We've talked about it before. They can afford to give everybody quality fucking health care with the amount of money they're fucking stealing from us every year. But they're not going to do it. So then stop stealing my fucking money, you pricks. But
let me deal with my health. Let me deal with my family. Let me deal with my own food. And let me deal with taking care of my children. And quit taking my money from me.
Yep. Now, shifting gears, Justin, you are a big Second Amendment advocate, correct?
Sure am.
Okay. Well, I'm going to pull up a video and I'm going to show you how we can solve all this fucking gun violence in the country. And I want to know if you agree with it. Okay.
All right.
Let's check it out. I think this person really hit it on the head with this one.
He looks like he's going to.
He does. Yeah. He looks like he's got tattoos and shit. So
do you realize if we just took every gun that currently exists and melted it and then we never made any more, no one would ever get shot to death again? And I feel that, but that's so childish. And I know I can hear the right-wing response to that where they're like, well, that's impossible. And I'm like, but the thing is, it's so deeply possible.
It's so possible.
It's so deeply possible. Do you realize if we just, thing is, it's so deeply possible.
It's so possible.
It's so deeply.
It's so deeply possible. Here, I like when she chimes in.
It's so deeply possible.
It's so possible.
It's so deeply possible.
I bet neither one of them fucking idiots can explain how that's possible.
I would love to know how it's possible.
Just take all the guns and burn them.
They're not wrong. If you could take all the guns and burn them, nobody would get shot. They'd just get stabbed and,
If I could shove a rocket up my ass, I could fly to the moon. I mean, it's not a possible. That's the dumb shit that their side comes up with. This utopian idea of things like, if we can just get all the guns and burn them. Well, yeah. I mean, that if. What kind of fucking solution is that? Because then you got the blonde that chimes in. It's so possible.
So possible.
The fuck out of here. I thought you'd get a kick out of that because I know how much you hate your guns. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm like
get
this.
the
It's like the
thought
caption
process.
said. These people fucking vote.
They do.
These people get to vote. It's crazy.
That's scary.
Man.
They
That's
do.
scary.
And that's the worst part is they'll vote on gun rights and know nothing about them. Not a
Nothing.
single thing about a firearm, how they work. You
Yep.
could tell when somebody like from the left draws anything with a gun in it, because usually the bullet that's shooting out will be the shell casing, the
They still
bullet and
got the
everything
casing
still
on it.
flying through the air.
All right. Well, look, it's getting late. I want to end this on a video. I want everybody to enjoy this video that we ended on. Okay. Now, it's been, well, what you got in the comments before we get off of here?
Just
you
a
pulled
note
something
for
up.
everybody, you know, the only way it's possible is over my dead body.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's
I love
right.
Jesus.
What you got?
All right. So we're going to end it on this video. I want everybody to enjoy this. It's an oldie but a goodie. And it's pretty fucking amazing. So let's get into it, and then we're going to get off of here. Everybody subscribe if you ain't done it yet.
Please.
Dr. Fauci, give us vaccines. Help all the people who have been quarantined.
Dude, I can't
We'll wear our masks and we'll have to stay distant. We'll wash our hands and we'll be more resistant. Fauci, yes? Promise us, please. We'll have a cure that can fight off this disease. Restrictions will lift with
Virus.
some ease.
He can vote too.
Dr. Fauci,
Yeah.
don't forget me.
Woo! Yeah. We'll see y'all.